And then I'm also going to go through and mute everybody just to make sure. But if you have questions or anything, feel free to like unmute and just jump right in, or you can always talk on the chat. What I'm going to be sharing about today are basically three things. That one thing is something I think we need to work on immediately. Like it's something, look at Coleman, I can't even take it. 1 week baby freshness. John, look. Look at the baby. Carly, I can't. Okay, now I'm gonna have to try to get back on track.
Why don't we get save it?
We're not. I just put it in there. Okay, so anyways, one thing is something we need to put into practice right now. And just because I think this is something that I have not been a good leader on, and that's just challenge groups. Like I'll pour into the challenge groups for like 3 days, and then I'll go like 2 days where I'm like, oh my goodness, even I didn't like post anything today. Like, I mean, my scheduled post still went in. So I still look present in there, but really I was checked out for 2 days and was not involved in the community aspect of it all. So I really loved what one coach was sharing, and I'm going to share my screen as normal. By the way, this call is being recorded, and you are allowed to use this as much as you want, and you can even use it in your trainings, but we are not allowed to share these. Like, you know, if you meet another coach and they're like, oh, I need help, like you're not allowed to share these. I'm not really technically supposed to be sharing them with you guys other than just by word of mouth, but we're just not going to share them. So this came from, she's the number 15 coach in the network. So I always like to know, like, okay, if this is what she's doing and she's the number 15, like she's clearly got a system and this is good and it's not going to mess things up. Like if you are sitting here scratching your head and you're like, oh, I just want to do something better, I want to add something in. Maybe you're sitting here and you like where your challenge groups are, and you like what those look like. Maybe there's just one or two things you could pick from here to implement. But another thing I wanted to bring up before I even jump any further into this is that most of you aren't even running your own challenge groups yet, which is okay. But when I started as a coach, I definitely jumped in with my uplines challenge groups, but I was immediately thinking about what I wanted mine to look like. I don't want you guys to sit, I don't want your end goal to be to throw people in my challenge group the rest of your life. I know you have visions and gifts and skills and talents from God to use women in another way than how he's using me, if that makes sense. I do not think that my groups are the end all be all. I think that they are supposed to serve the women that God gives me, but he's going to use you in your own groups to serve the women that he gives you, or he would have given them to me. Do you see what I'm saying? So just know that if you're sitting here and you're playing that narrative of why would I ever run my own challenge group? I don't have anything to give. I don't have anything, whatever. Stop. And today I want you to take pen to paper and I want you to truly write out and envision what kind of community you want to create for women to get them out of the same pits that you've been in. Because really that's what this is about. You're here to help women walk through things that you've walked through. So how do you want to structure a challenge group around that? And so this will work for whatever vision you do have for your challenge group. So one thing you'll run into when you do start running your own, just like Sammy was talking about here, every once in a while you'll hit this rut and you're like, where did the fire go in these groups? Why are they not fun? Why do they feel like a chore? Like these are what I signed up for. Like initially when you were starting your fitness journey, like you signed up for the challenge group and for the fitness and all of that. And you never, it's a terrible feeling, just a horrible feeling to go, oh, do I even want to show up to the own challenge group that I'm running? And so that's where she was with this. And I've been there a million times. She said they felt formatted and forced. I agree. There are times I'm scheduling a post just to schedule a post. Still a good post, but it's still like not really where my heart is. Hang on just a second. Yes, sir. Yes. And then I like that she mentioned this too. She kept losing people as she would change groups. Like maybe an email didn't get sent, or maybe something glitched, or just whatever. And so she basically began, hold on, there's a lag. my little screen here. Okay. So she began one ongoing group starting in 2019. And she just ran that just over and over and over again. And sometimes I get scared to do that. I've done it both ways, where I run an ongoing group for like 6 months, and then I'm like, oh no, like what if it starts to get stale or boring? And then I start like doing like a month to month group again. So I don't think that is like necessary. Like I don't think you have to have one ongoing group versus one that starts every month. But I do think that you need to figure out how your brain works. Because how your brain works is probably how your people's brain's going to work. And so from now on, I'm going to be doing what Sammy does, because this is how my brain works. And I was glad to finally get some, like, I don't even know, support in this, I guess. But one ongoing group, except for new launches. So everyone's going to be in the same challenge group. And for me, I'm going to call it the She Rises Boot Camp. You are allowed to steal that, by the way. That's not like patented. The She Rises Boot Camp. And then I'm going to, when there is a new launch, so 10 rounds, there will be a She Rises 10 rounds exclusive challenge group. Does that make sense? So you're going to have like this ongoing group, but then you're going to have this one like pocket group that will run for that, first 6 weeks of that challenge. And then they will all go into that ongoing group when they are finished. Then she cleaned up and organized the content. So this, if you'll notice, this is from Facebook. I'm going to keep mine on the My Challenge Tracker app. I did a poll a couple months ago about whether my girls wanted to be on Facebook, if we wanted to go there, or if we wanted to stay on the My Challenge Tracker app. And it was like not one person wanted to be on Facebook because they keep getting lost there. And they would get on to go to the group, but then they would rabbit trail with all the people, having babies and all, how Facebook is. And then they would never make it to the group. And so I'm going to do mine on the My Challenge Tracker app. And according to headquarters, the new BOD Groups app is going to look so much more clean in 2020, if you get what I'm saying. I love our Challenge Tracker app, but it is starting to look dated. So I'm really glad that update is rolling in, where everything will be all encompassing here in the next couple months. So I'm excited about that. So she cleaned up the content. She has the Getting Started Right info. That's very simple. Like that's obvious that that's what you should read first, right? How to understand the eating plan. Watch this video first. Like she was very, very simple. And here's your content. Here's what you need to do. Our Challenge Tracker app has a file section, but I'm going to show you something else that will also simplify it for your challengers in a second. And then she created a unit of prep week resources. I already have that created, you guys. I'm going to like show that to you here in a little bit, but all you have to do is take it and copy it. It's going to take a little bit of front end work where you're going to watch some of my videos and go, okay, like I need to kind of make some, obviously you can use my videos, but it's so much better for your challengers when they hear it coming from you. But I've already got the content created. You just have to like make it in your own, with your own face, if that makes sense, and put your own name on, your own stamp on it. So there's that part. She just simplified that so that no matter when people were jumping in, they could go straight to prep week. That's where she pointed them first. And where's my arrow? Here we go. Then, love this. This is where I'm like, yes, okay, this is what I was missing. She started weekly check-ins. So instead of there being a post popping up every single morning where it turned into me, that was robbing me of my joy, because who has that much content? Seriously, there's some of you do. Some of you love that. And if that's what you love, if that's what brings you joy and makes your cup overflow in these groups, then you keep doing that. For me though, I'm posting every single day. Sometimes I'm like, guys, today just kind of sucks, but you got to do it anyway. You know what I mean? So there's sometimes where I just don't have anything good to say, or like, I'm out of recipes. I don't know. You just have those days where you're like, I just want to like hang out with these girls and not feel pressured to have to always be leading. Sometimes I just want to hang out, And so what she would do, and what she still does, is she does this is the post for the week. And so what you do is you just have like the girls keep referring back to that. So this one is an example. She posts this on Monday and she pins it. And that way, if any other coaches post, it doesn't like automatically go to the top. But she pins this post, and it's 100 water bottles by Thursday at midnight. And so every single time a girl would drink 16 ounces of water, they would tally that up, and then they would go into the group and they would say how many water bottles they drank for that day. And so the whole goal was just to get 100 water bottles down as a group by Thursday at midnight. And you can do a prize, but honestly, you can do that without a prize. Like, that's just a fun thing. Like, let's just see if we can do it. 100 wins of excuses. So maybe just like, hey, I almost didn't do my workout, but I did because of this. I almost ate a donut in the school break room, but I didn't, because I wanted to put this, I wanted to have a win for our team or for our group in here. And so you can do things like that. You can also do like a nutrition week and I think this is definitely something I'll be doing once a month for sure, where you go heavy on nutrition again, just to really like get girls back into that mindset of like, this is a lifestyle, this is what we do, all of that. And this is blurry because I had to I don't know, I'll share these images with you guys in our group chat in a minute. But this is also another thing so this is how she would do the nutrition week. On Monday, you would do a sugar detox. On Tuesday, you'll check your sodium levels. On Wednesday, it's water chug day, self-love, and then beat the weekend treats. And so that would be her nutrition, week. And then I forget what the trio challenge is, to be honest. I don't remember that. I will look that up. I forget what that was, but that's where you obviously this is where you partner people up and they have a challenge to do together. And the trio, I guess it's probably 3 people, but I don't remember what it was. So I'll go back and figure that out. But I love just this idea of taking the pressure off and just having these fun things, do 100, of these. Can we do 100, I don't know, push-ups as a group? Can we do, you see what I'm saying? And so it's just a really fun thing that you can do to kind of build camaraderie in the group and just have a fun thing for them to check in and do. I've seen some coaches do especially around holidays, they would do a costume, if for Halloween you do a workout in a costume. I don't know, there's the for Thanksgiving, there's things that you can do earn your turkey challenges, all sorts of fun stuff that you can do. So just brainstorm that and just have fun with it. All right, this is what I'm working on right now, and I'll show you mine when we're done. But basically, she created a new client guide so that and this is kind of like a welcome email, except a little bit more professional, in my opinion, because they already feel like they're getting something immediately. But this is a new client guide, and it helps simplify the onboarding process, includes all the basic info, and then you also do a one-on-one call with your clients at some point if that's something they want to do. Let me, like I said, this is blurry right here, so let me go to my photos and read to you what she has in this guide. Hold on, I have to go to my Facebook. This presentation was being very finicky this morning, and I barely even got it done. So sorry. Okay, I'll just read it to y'all in a second. It's going to take forever to load. Then this one's easy. This one's very easy. This is adding to your stories. So this is something you're already doing every single day. But somehow or another, screenshot your challenge groups, film yourself scrolling through. Obviously, if someone's posting something very vulnerable that's not for the world to see, you need to be conscious of that. And I sometimes will blot out names, if we're sharing our wins for the day and someone's talking about, their pant sizes or whatever, I blot out their name so that you can't see them. But I do share that there are women in my groups getting results and living their best lives, because that's the goal. Carl said that over and over again. And I can't tell you guys how many times I cried last weekend just because of transformation stories. I would see someone's transformation story of 30 pounds down, and just seeing how like drastic that is on a human, like I would just get so emotional thinking like our company does that. Or like when I posted y'all's pictures, oh my gosh, and I saw your pictures, and I was just a mess, like looking at y'all's transformations and knowing that I had, even for some of you, even a teeny tiny part to play in that. Obviously you did the work, but like, that's what we do, is we just inspire people to get to work and to buckle down and to live their lives. And I don't know, I'm getting all my feels again, but just make sure that you're showing like that you actually have a group that you're running. Sometimes I think people can say, oh, she's talking about her group again, but like, what does that look like? Is it real? Like, is she actually helping people? So yes, like screenshot this. And if, like I said, if you don't have a group yet, screenshot the one that you're in. Like if you're still in my group, screenshot a few of those things. Obviously be conscious, please, of making sure girls are anonymous as you post that, but just show people that what you have is real. And it's super fun. It does actually make you more excited to go back into your group, because you're like, yeah, they are real. Like, yes, they are. Like, look what I get to do. This is my job. This is awesome. And so it also shows these people, these other girls on your feed who are like right on the edge, what they're missing. I can't tell you how many times the girls will come to me because of the groups. You can go get fitness anywhere. You really can. You can go find a nutrition plan anywhere. You can't find these groups everywhere. This is kind of unparalleled, what we do and the heart that we have to serve. Okay, this one's going to be hard for me. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I'm not good at this. I'm not good. I love creating meal plans, but they're ugly. And it's very hard for me to sit down and create like stuff like this that's pretty and helpful. Like I can either do pretty or helpful. It's hard for me to do both. But I am, because I'm also working on my vision and how I talk to myself, but I am capable of doing these things. I am capable of sending out weekly emails that help other women. So I'm getting better at it. It just takes a long time. So I want you to, if you're sitting here looking at this like me and you're going, oh my goodness, this is a lot of work. Well, first of all, it's a job. But also you're allowed to steal mine. So once I start really cranking these out at a much quicker level than just one a month, then you guys can take these. Also, it doesn't have to be a weekly email. It can be bi-weekly. It can just be monthly. It doesn't have to be all the time. Now, maybe you'll build up to that at some point. But for me, my first goal this first quarter is just going to be monthly. And then maybe for the second quarter of the year, it'll be bi-weekly. But I really want to help women like that. I really want to see the most pounds lost, the most muscle gain, the most confidence gained year of my life with you guys and with the women that we help. So this is my goal by the end of the year is weekly emails. And then I want to hold them accountable. I'm not very good at that because I don't want to make it about just the results. I want to make it about so much more than that. But honestly, you guys, I'm going to start making it a little bit more results driven, just for the simple fact that that's why 90% of these women joined. So I'm going to give them what they want. They joined not because they wanted a cushy group, not because they wanted friendship, which they did, but they wanted friendship that actually held them accountable. I call these accountability groups. They know that when they're signing up, and I honestly feel like I've really slacked in that area. And so that's one way that I'm really going to just, step it up. And then hold myself accountable as a leader. I want to check in once a day. I don't want to do that thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't checked into the group in 2 days. Broadcast live videos once a week. And by live, I'm just going to do those 3-minute videos because no one has time to watch more than 3 minutes anyway. It used to drive me crazy that they only let you do a 3-minute video in our VOD groups, but now I'm like, no, that's probably the most. Like, if I have more to say than that, then I can just make a YouTube video. But honestly, I'm going to start doing that once a week. I haven't decided which day, probably Sundays. I feel like Sunday's the best day to do that. And then share group screen recordings on public social media. We've already said that. So that is her, streamlined way of looking at accountability groups. And I loved it. Do you guys have anything to add or any questions on that? Because I went fast.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have a general rule of thumb of like, once I have this many customers, then I run my own group?
I did it with 4 girls. That was when I was like, that's plenty of people to do it, because this is over and over and over again with this business. When you make a leap and a transition like that, you get more skin in the game. When I wasn't running my own challenge groups, it was like, well, it's okay if those girls drop off because I'm still in a challenge group, or it's okay if this or that. But once I started running my own, over my dead body, are those girls going to leave my challenge group? You get what I'm saying? Only if they I don't know, something catastrophic happens and they just need to check out of life for a little bit. And it made me work harder for them because I was the one finally doing the work. Because it's so easy. It's so easy to ride off of what someone else is doing when it's good. You know what I mean? Like I was like, why would I run my own challenge group? Ashley's is good, or Danielle's is good. Why would I do that? And honestly, the only answer I can give is just because they didn't sign up with Danielle. They didn't sign up with Ashley. They signed up with me. Like they signed up because something about me inspired them. And so that was what made me go, okay, all right. That's what I signed up to do as a coach. So let's do it. And then that was when my business also took off because, like I said, I wasn't just depending on someone else to do my work for me. And I'm not saying it's what any of y'all are doing. I'm not saying that, but that was my mindset.
So what do you guys do when you have challengers who don't really want to even get added to the accountability group? Because I have a lot of challengers that just prefer to just do their own thing. Well, then after a while they're just like, see you later. And I'm like, okay, but I try initially, but then I also don't want to just keep messaging. I'm like, hey, you want me to add you now? You want me to add, it's hard
right.
to know.
Are you already running your own challenge groups?
No. And I'm having a little setback. I have lost 4 coaches in the last 4 weeks. So I'm
That's
not
a setback
this minute. No.
It's not a setback.
Correct.
It's not.
Correct. So I'm going to start, that's my next thing, to start running my own challenge groups when I have a little personal goal, and then once I'm there, and then I'm going to start that again. So
understandable. Okay. I will say this, the retention rate was much better when I did start running my own challenge groups, because once again, they were there for me. They weren't there for whoever else was posting or moderating or managing the group. Even if I was making posts and I was active and always in there, it was still just the fact of I thought you were going to be my coach. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a disconnect of but why is she the one posting when I thought you were my coach? And some people, they don't care, but there's a lot of girls that are like, oh, okay. All right. And it kind of wears on them a little bit. You'll see your retention rate go up once you start running your own challenge groups.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You probably said this already.
Oh, go ahead.
You probably already said this already, but do you have your posts filed somewhere that we could just kind of use when we're first getting started? Because that's scary.
I have. So when you are made an admin in one of my groups, you then have access to those posts for life. And not just access to them, but they make it so easy. You can actually schedule that post into your group, and it shows your name as if it's your words, if that makes sense. It doesn't show that it's Lauren that you're sharing.
So if I was an admin, I can go back to any group that I've been an admin before and just got it. Okay.
And that's another reason I use the My Challenge Tracker app instead of Facebook, because I'm like, why would I give up that luxury?
Lauren, this is just a thought when we were talking about, you not having to schedule a post every single day, because that does steal your joy, and it puts too much pressure on you to create content when you have a million other things that are valuable for your time. It's just not a priority. But just for transparency in our team, like I'm transitioning over to Beachbody from another network marketing company. And like, this is so beautiful for me, but something I'm really taking away from that company that worked well for us was like, for example, like I'm piggybacking off your group this time because this is my first round of boot camp and I'm excited about that. But like, there's no reason that like we can't even shift some of that responsibility to like me or to other people that are strictly piggybacking off of that. And that could be like a volunteer thing or just something that you maybe want to play with, that way that there's like valuable content being added every day and they're not like, oh, everybody's, you know, doing their things and drinking their Shakeology, but like I'm not learning anything today, you know. So maybe that's just a good thought that you could like, that worked well for us in that other company. But so I would be more than willing to like help create content for those days and spread that responsibility out a bit.
Okay, like until you start your own challenge group, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, anybody that's like strictly piggybacking off of that, like that's the least that I feel like I could do is create something valuable for all the women in that group.
Okay.
That's what we do, like in Alexis's words are hard. In her, you know, like in her main challenge group, like that's what we all, not all of us, but a few of us, you know, have, you know, our days of the week, which makes it kind of nice, especially when we're doing like our free groups. That way the people that we add can see us posting and see like our faces associated in the group, since we are the ones that add them, and then they're like, who's this lady doing all this stuff, you know, kind of like what we just talked about, Lauren. But same type of thing. It kind of makes it nice for us to do, which ours is smaller, you know, than the main She Rises. But yeah, it just, I mean, that it is kind of nice sometimes, especially for the free groups.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I have a question about emails. So you said that you're sending or you're attempting to send out the frequent emails. Where do you get the email list from? Is there a way to like generate that easily, or do I need to have like a separate thing? Do I send it from my regular email, or do you do my challenge tracker or somewhere in Coach Office?
Somewhere in Coach Office, and I'll show you guys that in a second, but you can go to like log in and then go to Grow My Business, and then it will say send an email, and they'll either let you send it straight from that Beachbody, like they'll give you a template and everything, or they'll let you send it from your personal email, but you can only do 100 at a time if you do it that way. I'm personally, but I'm not freaking you guys out with this yet. I'm personally moving over to Google Streak because I want to be able to like actually look at my, like I want to create pretty templates. I want to make those emails, you know, pretty and keep up with you guys better. And I don't know, Google Streak lets you create lists of people who are like doing 10 rounds and people who are doing this one and that kind of stuff, which I'm not there yet to even categorize what program people are doing or even care about that yet, but that's the goal eventually. So I've had Google Street for like 6 months just to get it started, just so that whenever I do get ready to really start rolling with it, that I'm not scared of it, but I'm not actively using it quite yet. The only emails I've been sending so far are just from the Grow My Business tab and then share or like email or something like that. But what I would do with that is, how did I do that? I think I just made a PDF version of like the meal plans I was sending out so that they could just open them up in a new tab and print them off or save them or whatever that looks like. Let me pull that up so you guys can see that too.
So do you kind of, when you send it as a PDF, do you send all of your content as a PDF, almost like a newsletter then that's attached to the email and like say, hey guys, I'm just checking in for this month. Check out below, blah, 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 blah.
Yes. But once I get rolling on Google Streak, I don't know if that will change. As of right now, I'm just sharing it as a PDF so they can open it like anywhere and print it off. And it's a clean, a clean print, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But here's kind of what I'm going with for that new client newsletter. I literally just got it started, so it's not anything special yet. But how we rise up, our goal for you, how to access the workouts, what the nutrition looks like, what you can expect from me, and then how to find the accountability group. And then from there, very simple things that just like anyone getting started can have. And honestly, I'm going to look at the, if you go to go to Beachbody On Demand and look at their getting started guides. Like I'm honestly going to copy that just with my own like She Rises verbiage. Another thing, like here is what I have been using. It just needs to be prettied up. Like I said, I can't make useful things that are pretty. It's hard for me to do that. But here's like planning for nutrition success. Find your nutrition bracket. Save and print your meal plan template so you can print this off and create your meal plan for the week. Here are the container cheat sheets so that if you don't have the containers, you know that a green is 1 cup, a yellow is half a cup, and so on. Here's a list, but I'm going to get one that's not blurry because that one's always blurry. And then my actual recipe, like here's an example meal plan that I've been perfecting, but they are so hard to make. Where is it? So here's one that I can, like I have the template, so all I have to do is copy it and then add new recipes to it. But it is just so stinking hard to create a pretty meal plan that also has the containers like organized. I'm one of those people that I basically plan my dinners, and then because I shared this on that nutrition call with the new coaches on Tuesday, but I plan my dinners, and then the rest of the day, since we kind of do the rest of our days solo, I just fill in the containers randomly. So to create a pretty meal plan that is all put together, like that's not how I actually live my day most of the time. So it's just been really hard to do that. But I talk about what if you're not getting enough food? What if you're eating too much? What if you're fueling for a workout or eating out? And then there's the recipes, and some of them are from Fixate, some of them are from the blog, but they do all have a container count attached to them. And so that's where I'm like, it's exhausting, but I'm going to get better at it. So there's that. And then I want to see if there's anything. See, here's another example of a meal prep, which I know some of you are on your phone, so I'll try to make it bigger. I've tried it this way and didn't really love this way. Just like this. But like I said, I'm going to get better at it. We're going to figure it out. And then I will start sharing all of these in a file in our Facebook group. So there's that. And then the last thing I wanted to share is NLC. What was it? How do you get there? Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, did you say you were going to share your newsletter too? And then
That was it. The one where it was like the She Rises boot camp, how we
Yeah.
rise.
Yeah, how are you going to share that? Through the files?
Oh, what I do is I make a copy of it and I send it to you guys on Canva. Then you make a copy of it.
Yeah.
So that we aren't editing each other's and it's a disaster. Then you make a copy of it and you have it and you put in your own pictures. And if I use, slogans or whatever, or slang, I don't really do that.
Yeah.
But if I use something that you would never use, obviously take those words out and put in your words. But I'm just gonna, like, everything in this business is duplicatable in that way. So that way you can just have that and go with it. Any other questions before I go to NLC and explain that challenge group stuff?
Where's those meal plans at?
I will put them in a file section of our Facebook group, our team Facebook group.
And I need to get me some containers because
I've got a set you can have.
really?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
So here's a little hack for you guys. There are times where I'm like, man, I just need Energize, like to keep my husband active or whatever. I'm like, I need Energize and I need like 14 more PB points to keep him active alongside of the Energize. I'll do 2 packages of the containers because someone always needs them. So that's what I do. Like I just kind of have like a stash of them that I give out to people whenever they decide they're ready to start working on nutrition. Okay, so NLC, that was incredible. I cried the whole time if you watch my Instagram stories because I just don't think I realized the weight, or not the weight, I don't know, just what I had actually accomplished and what I was making, preparing a path for you guys to accomplish. And really to get to NLC, everyone's like, how do I do it? How do I do it? Just hit 1 star. So what that means is you go diamond and then you have a girl that goes diamond. That's all it means. And the reason that they started doing this conference was because there was kind of this like once you have a diamond underneath you, that's kind of like a really scary transition point of like, shoot, I'm doing this, and how like I need extra support right now to figure out how to get to the next level. So they started making NLC a thing where if you hit 1 star that next year, that next spring, February, you get to go to this conference. And if you have 25 leadership points, which I'll explain in a second, if you have 25 leadership points, then they even pay for your hotel room. And y'all, that was the most insanely bougie hotel I've ever been to. Like the elevators, like you put in your number on this computer pad outside of the elevators and you get in and it automatically takes you to your room. And like, it was truly insane. Like I was like, this is a different world. And the rooms were like, I looked it up because I was going to extend my stay until I saw the price. The rooms were like $325 each before taxes. And I was like, nope, that's not going to happen. Like I would not be going to this if I had not earned that 25 points to get my free hotel room. So I want to explain how to do that. I don't want you to make NLC your goal if you don't have the free hotel room, because honestly, that would have been a game changer for me. So I'm going to share my screen. Also, if you are somewhat new to this business, I'm going to pull this up and it's probably going to scare you out of your mind and you're going to think I'm never going to learn how all this works. Please do not be scared. This is something that I did not even learn about until I was about 2.5 years into the business. So you don't need to know this in order to have a successful group. Hold on, there's someone in the chat. Yeah, not at the Holiday Inn anymore. That was very clear when I got there. I was like, oh shoot. Okay, so to figure this out, you're gonna go to your coach office, you're gonna go to your training, and then training library. The way that I'm gonna teach you guys to get to NLC is to go to, probably not this, I probably went to the wrong thing. Here it is, the Road to Elite training. So we talk about elite a lot. That is a goal that I have for our team this year, and it's like not even a non-negotiable goal. Like we are going to be elite. Last year we got to team builder. By June we were team leader, and then by the end of the year we were premier. And I'm looking to like double that for you guys this year, to just really show you what's possible. So if you're sitting here going, oh, I can never be, team builder or team leader or premier, like yes you can. You just have to look at what your goals are and then start working toward them. So the first on the road to elite is obviously team builder. I'm not going to show you anything else because nothing else makes sense to show you until we talk about what a team builder is. And also, Beachbody did not make these because they wanted to. They made these trackers because we were begging for them, because we wanted a way to actually see what the goal was and then to break that down into bite-sized chunks for daily actions. So that's what this is. This is not something Beachbody said, oh, let's make this complicated. They created this because we asked for it. It's basically a way for you to look at your goals and break them down. And it's scary. I understand that it looks scary, so don't panic. I'm going to walk you through it. So the first thing you're going to want to do with a team builder is get 25 I shouldn't say first thing. Like these all come together as you do your daily action. But to get this, you need 25 leadership points. You need a diamond rank. You need to have 1,000 points of team volume on your weak leg. I'll show you what that means. And you need 1 new Emerald coach in 2020. That's very doable, you guys. Very, very doable. Obviously, the hardest part to this is getting to diamond. But if I'm being very honest with you guys, I just hit diamond in my second business center in 6 weeks. You can do it if you stop thinking it's impossible. It's just one step after another, one right choice after another, and then just serving people, right? So I didn't say that to say, look what I did. I said that to go, I hit diamond in 1 business center, and that doesn't mean that, oh, I'm tapped out, I ran out of people. I did it again. Like, this business is not, the market is not saturated. It is not over for you. Like, if you're just getting started, you can still, that's what I'm trying to say. I just technically got restarted on January 2nd when I opened up a new CBC, and I'm already diamond in that second CBC. That's how duplicatable and how much you can still grow this business. I didn't run out of my market. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay. So if you're sitting here going, I'll never get there, there's no one to be in my market, you just haven't really figured out how to look yet, but you will, I promise. All right. And if you need me to sit down with you one-on-one to talk about that, then I can. So to earn a leadership point, you need, and I'm going to see if I can. All right. To earn a leadership point, and this is how you can track. So here's your January, February, March, blah, 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 blah. Have at least one personally sponsored coach qualify for Success Club. Have one earn a Success Club point in the month after they enroll. Sell an additional challenge pack, 2 additional challenge packs other than just your 3. So that's basically 5 challenge packs. So SC 10, and then retain at least 3 customers on like within the next month. So you want to just get all these checked off. And then you don't need all of them checked off. You need this one. So basically, here, like let's make this simple, right? Basically what they're saying is hit Success Club. That's step number 1. And then also try to get at least 2 of these boxes checked off, which is up here. Okay. So if you had a personally sponsored coach hit Success Club, you can check off box A. If you got to Success Club 10, then you can check off box B. Does that make sense? Now, here's what I knew. Sometimes you can look at this and go, that's great, but I don't have any coaches that are willing to work for Success Club. I knew that I could control 2 things other than just hitting my own Success Club. I knew I could always hit Success Club. I knew that it was in my control to hit Success Club 10, so I knew I could check this box off. And I knew that I could help retain customers because that's also my responsibility. So I could check off this box. Okay. So it says, in order to earn 25 leadership points, you need to check off these boxes up here, which is your Success Club. Then that's just Success Club 5. It doesn't mean 10. And then at least 2 boxes down here. And I knew that it was in my control to do at least 3 of those a month. The other 2, where it's your coach's earning Success Club, it's not your control. It just isn't. But you and what your business is doing is in your control. Who you are helping, who you are, getting enrolled in your challenge groups, that is something you can control. That was tough love I needed to hear. And so I'm telling you guys that as well. Like, don't sit here and throw up your hands and say, well, I don't have coaches that are willing to work, or I don't even have working coaches, or no one in sight. Like, you are in control of enough to get your 25 points. And then on top of that, when you start doing those things anyway, your coaches are going to start coming. So once I took control of what I was in control of, that's when working business coaches started showing up. Because another thing too, is people are only going to go where they see people doing work. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not serving and taking ownership of your own life in one way, people aren't going to come knocking at your door anyway, because they want someone that's going to help them and not someone who isn't helping themselves in the first place. So one of those kind of backwards things there. I'm not even going to go over volume yet. Not even going to touch that. That's just going to scare you guys. But then there's diamond rank and 1 new emerald coach. So obviously diamond is, I shouldn't say obviously, that's not obvious. Diamond is when you have 8 coaches, 4 on each leg, and then 1 on each leg is an emerald. And the reason that you have to have that balance, like, for example, I have Alexis and Carly are on my same leg, and Alexis is diamond and Carly is like a sneeze away from diamond. And so if they both go diamond, that does not make me 2-star diamond. That still just makes me 1-star until I get another diamond on my other leg. Then I'll immediately go 3-star because it has to be balanced. They have to go back and forth. Let's say, like, for example, I have one friend in this coaching business who has like 6 or 7 diamonds on one leg, but no diamonds on her other leg, which she's fine with because she's building for income and so she can do that. She has no diamonds on her other leg. And so she's still just a 1-star diamond, even though she has like 6 or 7 on this side. But she's making 6 figures. So she's doing just fine. Let me see the chat. Bye, Bailey. Hold on. Yes.
I need to like tape or something.
I'm gonna let you guys get caught up for just a second. Okay, here you go. All right. So, sorry about that. So that's why it's important to be balanced. And the reason why you want to be balanced is because of that volume. Sometimes, like in my friend's case, it doesn't help her to be balanced. It helps her to have all of her volume on one side because her other leg is, her coach is adding on to that, which that's a conversation for a different day. But basically, you want to be balanced. If you're like, hey, Lauren, should I try to just go like, should I try to do what that girl does where I just get all my diamonds on one side and all my volume on one side, all this other volume's over here? Should I do that? Or should I build to where I'm like 15-star diamond? My answer to you is to get to diamond, and then we'll discuss that. Because whether or not you want to build for volume / income, or you want to build for rank and all the shiny things, which both of them equal income, don't get me wrong. But no matter what your goal is, you still have to be diamond to maximize the compensation plan. So your goal, your business goal, is to get to diamond, and it's not impossible, okay? If there's anything I want to tell you guys today, to get out of your head, and diamond's not hard. It's not. I promise it's not hard. Now, keeping diamond is continuing to do the same things you're doing, but getting there, it's like a sprint. But then it's, I mean, anyone in sports, even in our even with our workouts, we know this, where you get to a certain point in your workout and you're like, okay, like you like settle into it. Like that's what it feels like, where you're just like you're like working, and then you're like, oh, I hit diamond. Okay, like I've maximized the compensation plan. Now I just have to work on keeping it, which is still work. Don't get me wrong. Like you don't ever like stop working in this business. But then once you hit diamond, that's when you can stop for a second and look and go, okay, now is my goal to build rank and have fun with this business in terms of like the trips and the fun stuff? Or is my goal to just make an income and, you know, like still help girls? Obviously the goal is always getting people results. So don't ever think that I'm negating that. But just, you know, is my goal like income and just, you know, having that goal? Or is it like the fun, like I'm going to walk across stage, I'm going to do this and that kind of stuff? I personally want both. So I'm building for both. But I can teach you how to build for one or the other, depending on what your goals are. Okay. Who's scared? That's good. That is so good. You have to be a little scared, but it's so possible. If anyone can be proof of that, it's me and the silly trajectory I've had in my business of how long it took me. I seriously went 2.5 years without going diamond, and now I've gone diamond twice in 2 years. So that shows you it's all mindset, it's all belief, it's all tightening down on those little things that you think don't make a difference. Like look at your invites. If everyone is saying no, maybe you're not wording something right. Maybe you're overwhelming them. Like it's all about just constantly going, okay, I can get better. I can always get better. And not in an overwhelming sense, but just in a very empowering sense. Like I can always be improving on what it is that I'm already doing. Any other questions? I probably should have made the newer coaches get off for that last part, because that was, okay, good. Like do not panic. Do not go to the place of like, what? That is just, that will come. It will come. But I will say, if you're really hungry, dig into what it means to become a team builder. Just dig in. But I love also that I started this call with challenge groups, because that's what it's all about. you get to your goals by helping people and serving people and helping them get results and change their lives. Then the fun things come. As if that's not fun. All right, is that it? All right, I'm gonna take a picture and then I'm gonna share the pictures of those slides that you guys are not allowed to share anywhere else because they are clearer as a picture and not as a Canva presentation. Let's take a quick pic. All right, let me turn the chat off. No one needs to see our chat. All right, 3, 2, 1. This is so funny. I love it. This is our job. We get on a call and we take selfies and little pictures and we post it. So hard. All right. See you guys.
Bye.